Episode 7, Show for Gamers. What's up, guys? I'm Jay, this is Al. We're going to talk about Dragon Age Origins. Now, this game was made by Bioware, and they are the beautiful people responsible for a great game that came out a while ago called Mass Effect. Now, in between Mass Effect coming out and Dragon Age Origins being made, a company bought Bioware, and its name is EA. I hate you, EA! So, I mean, this game's an RPG. You can be a human, you can be an elf, or you can be a dwarf. Dwarves cannot be wizards because we all know that short people can't cast magic.
Naturally.
But you can be a warrior, rogue, or mage, minus the dwarf. There's like battle axes and swords and bows and crossbows and just a shit ton of different... Maces, yeah. Different types of shields.
Stabs.
And, you can make potions, you can make poisons, you can do herbal junk, you can enchant weapons. What else you can do? I said make traps, right? You make traps. Well, you can make traps.
Yeah.
Obviously the rogue is good at lockpicking and stealing and blah blah. The warrior can take more damage and he has heavier, like, crazy combat abilities. And obviously the mage is going to be like, fireball! You know, that type of shit. So that's the gist of that. The cool thing is, when you're making your character, you can get, like, really detailed in the face and whatever.
Yeah. Mine always ends up looking retarded.
What I'll do is I'll pick a preset I like,
yeah,
just slightly change, like, eye stuff, but then I'll add tattoos.
What always happens with me, I'll pick the preset thing, and then, like, I'll slant the eyes one way too much or something. I'll, like, be like, what's slant down? And I'll click it, like, oh my god, and I can't get back to normal.
That's before I change anything, and I always look at where it's at.
My eyes are upright and out here, and my mouth's on my forehead.
That's what
it's bad.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you that in a little bit when we're done reviewing this game. But anyway, so you were a human warrior, right?
Yeah,
I did. That's what I'm leading to. Basically, you make a character, right? And then when you're done with that, you get to pick like a little origin story. And were you a noble? What were you?
I was a noble.
You were a noble. I was. The elves have a double story thing. You can either be like a wild elf, because in this world basically elves were like slaves and now they're like second-class citizens. Well, you can be a wild elf that they're like completely free and they live out in the wild, or you can be a second-class citizen elf that lives in the cities of humans. That's what I picked. So like it makes sense for a rogue to be in cities and blah blah blah. So that was cool. I mean, I've encountered shit right off the bat that to me is like warrants this being mature rating. Like there's been like insinuations of rape and like keys being pooped out.
Yeah.
And just like...
There's a guy that pretty much admitted to slaughtering an entire family.
There you
go. And like they just kind of describe some of it and stuff.
The kind of cool thing is, like, when you are killing shit, blood splatters on your character, and then if you go into a dialogue with somebody, blood's on their face.
Blood's all over and stuff.
But that's the one cool part. The bad part, in my opinion, go play Mass Effect, and then play this, and you can be like, what the F happened to these graphics? They put, like, no money in the graphics. And it's like, yeah, I don't have a high-def TV, so maybe that'll help. But they're still pretty shoddy. There's no reason... in a cinematic, my dude talking to me walks through an NPC character.
It's happened.
I have hair. There's hair just poking out of the side of my head.
That's one of the worst like graphical things they did. They just did not flush that out and stuff. You'll always see like these hairs poking out here and there. Or they'll be invisible like outlines.
The other thing that I really hate is if you have a sword, like the weapons you have equipped, they're on you, and so is the armor and stuff. But if you go into dialogue option, you have a helmet on, helmet pops off. I don't understand that.
The only thing they should have done is had you like holding the helmet or something, because obviously it's not practical to be standing around with a helmet on.
Well, even more, since you're talking about practicalities, your shield. A shield, basically, you know, you got your big shield, you got the straps, right? The leather straps. The shield mounts to your back via the leather straps, but they don't do anything with them. So you just have these big hoop straps, and it's just floating out there. It looks like shit.
Floating behind your back.
Yeah, it looks like shit. I hate that with a passion. That just personally bugs me. But, I mean, there's tons of different ways you can play through. Like we said, there's different story options for each race. I have no idea how long the game is. We've both put in about 10 hours.
Honestly, I got it, and I played from about 5 p.m. to 3 a.m.
It's addictive.
Like straight. Like, you get hooked into it. and everything. And I think I just like I got to the point where you just kind of gotta look past the graphics for and if you let those, if you're one of those people that like need like amazing graphics, it's not gonna be good.
This isn't gonna be good. If you basically. That aside, the game is fun. That's what we're trying to say.
But it is, yeah, but it is
the game
really
is fun. But graphically, it's kind of pissy to look at. Like the world around you is kind of shitty.
It's not terrible.
No, it's not terrible.
But I just think coming from Bioware, like they did Mass Effect. Mass Effect.
The facial animations are not even remotely close on par with Mass Effect. Yeah. This looks more like Oblivion graphics, and Oblivion came out like when the 360 came out. So that puts it into context for you.
Pretty much what we're hoping is they cut back on the funding for this because there's so much funding going towards Mass Effect 2 right now.
If this looks this shitty, I want Mass Effect to look like fucking it better look amazing. That's all I'm saying. If Mass Effect at all, I see anything where like they didn't put money into it, I'm gonna fucking hate EA forever. I'm trying to like let them. Come on, EA, you guys can do good.
Guess what? They helped out with Brutal Legend and
they did. Yeah. So I don't know what happens
like
with
they're
the
getting
graphics.
involved in a lot of games.
Whatever. Anyway, point being, because the graphics are so effing horrible, and that's such a disappointment, that might set a lot of people off. And again, this is an RPG, so it's only for RPG players that want to put tons of hours into it. So 7 out of 10. What I was gonna say before is when I made that Oblivion character, the Orc Krug, and that's what I did. Is I purposely turned everything like to the extreme, so he was like the ugliest effing character I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Guess what? You're gonna want to tune in to the next episode, episode 8. You know why? Because we're probably going to be reviewing, I think, the most anticipated game of this year, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. Does it meet the hype? Is it good enough? We're gonna tell you. We're gonna tell you.
Do you have the game? If not, wait a couple months. Actually, I heard people that got it like yesterday. They picked it up at like Target.
Well, lucky them.
Wow.
So the next episode is this episode has no random image. Let's check it out.